We'll continue with adding numbers today. So let's go over our DLO, review some addition vocabulary, and then we'll do some practice problems. All right, I'll go first. Today I will represent addition as adding to a number. Now it's your turn. Today I will represent addition as adding to a number. All right, so let's go over some addition vocabulary. In the video Adding with a Pirate, I like the rhyme and the song because it uses those vocabulary words to help us remember the words that we can hear when we're adding together. So even though this lesson we're not using a plus sign, I still want to review it because we will be using it, I think, next time. Nope. In a couple lessons we'll use it, but it's still something that we've learned last quarter, and it's a good review. So when we're adding, well, that's not very straight. Our sign, not our sign, our operation is plus. So say operation, plus. So when we see plus, we add. When we add, we're getting more. Sometimes you'll hear how many in all to find out what the total amount is. And then to find the answer, it's called the sum. So when you add with the pirate, you will see you're getting more for you and me with a yo-ho-ho and a rum-pum-pum. When you add, you're getting a sum. Anyways, I like that song. So our operation is plus. We're adding. Adding means getting more. When we're finding out the total, you might hear in all, how many in all, and the total is called the sum. Okay, so I will erase that. So we're going to represent addition as adding to a number. These are words that you can read today, and is. We've learned those words already because they're all sight words. So where's my black marker? Here it is. I'm going to write those numbers down here as blank and blank is blank. So a number and another number is a sum. I'm going to use my magnets today because they're all the same. So we're adding together objects that are the same. It's not different colors adding together, not different objects adding together. It's the same objects together. And one way to count, a strategy you could use today, is the crossing off method to count them. So you're going to count, write the number, count, write the number, add them all up together, whether you use the strategy counting all of them or finding the greater number, putting it in your head, and putting the other number in your hand. So there's a few different strategies you can do that to find out the sum, everything together, the total. So we'll start off with an example. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green dots here, and 1, 2, 3. I want to know how many in all. So if we're adding to get to a number, we have to start with a number. So let's look over here. I want my green. I like that. How many do we have to begin with? Just like when we're reading, we start at the top on the left. So we don't want to start in the middle of the pictures. We want to start on the left, just like when we're reading. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to write it down here, just like you will in your book. I have 5. Now I'm going to add to that number 5 and how many more? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. Around the tree, that's the way you make a 3. I want to know how many that is all together. One strategy to use is to just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another strategy I could use is putting the greater number in my head and the smaller number in my hand. Which number is greater? Greater means more. 5. 5 is greater than 3. So I'm going to put 5 in my head and the number that's less, not as many, in my hand. So let's count up. Point to your brain, 5, and then take that hand and pull down your other fingers because some kids like to do this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and they get confused. So take your hand and physically pull those fingers down. It'll help you to get a better accurate number. So the greater number in your head, 5. The smaller number in your hand, 3. Let's count up. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the sum we got. Now let's read our sentence. 5 and 3 is 8. Let's do another one. We're adding to a number. Okay, let's try this one. If we're adding to a number, we need to start off with a number. So just like when we're reading, let's start on the left. How many do we have here? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. And if you're at home, of course you're at home. That was silly. At home, you could cross them out. So what I'll do instead of crossing out on my dots because it's hard to erase, I'm just going to put a little tick mark. 1, 2, 3. Now I know that I counted all of them and I can write the number that I counted. 3. Around the tree, around the tree. That's the way you make a 3. Now I need to find out how many more I'm adding. Let's start at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make a loop until it sticks. That's the way you make a 6. 3 and 6 is how many? Let's find out. I'm going to use the strategy of putting the greater number in my head and the smaller number in my hand. So the greater number is the number that's more, which is 6. So I'm going to put 6 in my head and 3 in my hand. Now I'm going to count up. 6, 7, 8, 9. Make a loop and then a line. That's the way you make a 9. So I could read my sentence. 3 and 6 is 9. That's our sum all together in all. Let's do one more. I have to erase all my little tick marks. Let's see here. I want to do that. Adding to a number, we have to start off with a number. So we'll start on the left. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, over, down some more. That's the way you make a 4. Now let's add on to it. How many are on this side? 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, over, down some more. That's the way you make a 4. I'm going to use the method of putting a number in my head and a number in my hand. Which number is greater? More. Neither one is greater. They're the same. What means the same? Equals. Equal means the same. So I could put 4 in my head and 4 in my hand. Let's count up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make an S and close the gate. That's the way you make an 8. By using the counting up strategy, it's faster to get to our sum. If I spent more time counting every single one, it just takes longer. So the more practice you have with counting up, the more fluent you'll be, which means the faster you'll know the answer just by knowing that those two numbers together makes 8. So let's read our sentence and then it'll be your turn. 4 and 4 is 8. Now it will be your turn to count the different boats, write the number and the sum. And I want you to read them out loud. Number and number is, then the sum, all together. So now it's your turn to add to a number.